just focusing on one thing at a time. Like it's worse to multitask. It'd be better for somebody to focus on one simple thing at a time. They'd get more things done quicker.
Now I'm getting what you're talking about. I have to
Yeah,
work.
as exactly. And so I'll go over with you guys again today to pull this over. So you see where we are here, right? And if I scroll this over, this is based off of this bar here, right? So you see the 8 o'clock close, you get the overnight high, the value area high. And you can see where the previous day close is, all the moving averages, overnight low, right? So one thing we want to understand is that we're already up above. So it'd be a lot more riskier. You see how risky it is for us to try to take against this momentum as we go through. What we do know is that as we trigger in, we have so much more potential to pull down here because we went from the value area low before the open, we're already at the value area high, right? And the previous day close sits all the way down here. So all the volume sits here. So what we'll continue to do is we'll continue to bounce around this area. And if we don't break the overnight high and the value area high, we're going to come and travel right back to the previous day close, the value area low. And what will potentially happen is that price will then develop its move and push lower into the overnight low, right? That's what it will do next once it breaks this area. Now, if by 10:30, right, if by 10:30 the market does not break down this area here, this value area low and previous day close, it will then shoot right back up to the value area high and then potentially may end up breaking this and climbing to 45.20. So keep an eye out for that if price doesn't break this area. Now, if you're going to be short at about 10:30, that's absolutely fine. If price doesn't break this value area high by 10:30, you could short right back in, but you know where to take your profits. You take your profits previous day close, value area low. But to talk about just simply setting yourself up for the day with the best type of trade, we know that the market is still underneath prior support using it as resistance. And the reason that we wanted this short more than we wanted the long is because of this, where we see the value area low, where we see the previous day close. We know by the time we hit this for the entry, we should get this to fall right back into this area. That's we know almost as a 99% guarantee that that's going to happen over and over and over again, right? Just, if we were to follow the way that these markets move, what's today? Today's 7, 6, 5, 4. I guess we can go over here on the fourth. I wonder if the previous day, if we were to follow the way that these markets move, we know a couple things that when price opens up, right? So say for instance, this is our 8 o'clock bar. We know that the previous day close is up over here. We know that the value area high is up over here, right? And we know that it's coming from the value area low and the overnight low. So we know a couple things. We know that if we were to set our order to the top of this bar right here, 44.80, we know on the upside we would capture the points, 2 points, and maybe even potentially higher. Why do we know that? Because we can see where the value area high is. We can see where the previous day close is. And we can see that there's space between this, that if we break back up through it at 9:30, it will be easy for us to capture. You see how it pops up? You see where 80.75 into 91.75? And that's
Yeah.
because it's targeting the value area high. That's because the previous day close is all the way up over here. You see how it goes towards it?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And it happens over and over and over again. This is something that happens over. Now, if you were to take the low side, doesn't mean that the low side is not going to work. Doesn't mean that the trend is not there. But you have to also identify that this is the overnight low and the value area low, right? So that means we're at some of the most lowest points that we can be at right now where we would find the support. So it would take a lot more for the sellers to push this lower. Now, I like to take both ends. Doesn't mean the trader has to take both ends. but you
But
need to,
theoretically speaking, this is what you will look for.
yeah, this is exactly. And we'll, as we lay out the rules and stuff for you guys, we'll continue to go over this day after day.